that. He's fucking smug looking.
Mm-hmm. Very, very anti. Well, I think you're anti everything in this game, aren't you?
Yeah, you're anti-establishment, anti-continuity, anti-real life. Just there are no fucks given.
Mm-hmm.
So
how did you feel about this when you were playing it? Because I felt like when I played it, it was I got images of Brutal Legend again. Like, playing the game. Oh, it's fun. It's actiony. It's really fun to mess around with. And then it's like, okay, now you gotta do this defense thing. Like, wait, what? I have to defend my bases from enemy attacks. I was like, this sounds a lot like Brutal Legend, but in its defense, I think it did it a lot better than Brutal Legend did.
Yeah, I will admit that there was definitely a lot more tower defense sequences than I was planning to anticipate. But for what it's worth, I still had a lot of fucking fun with it. So
yeah, agreed.
But yeah, this is Play, and we're checking out Sunset Overdrive. And man, it's weird because you say Brutal Legend, and I don't know, I definitely got a Jet Set Radio vibe.
Oh yeah,
it. Like,
absolutely. Those are some shorts.
Yeah, so this is this is what I picture myself to look like in the video game space. Because you know how much I love my jorts.
Of course. Yeah, mine was a fat Naruto. Like he had like the blonde spiky hair, the monkey suit, everything, man. It was pretty legit.
Yeah, I will have to say that the hot potato ass movement is it's okay. It's weird how contextual it can be and how immediately inconsistent it gets with the contextuality.
Yeah, I feel like once you try to grab onto something, it's like when you don't want to grab on something, you will, and then when you actually do want to, you never seem to get it. It's especially I guess I was playing this, and I swear the best thing in the world was when I figured out you could hold down left trigger to slow down when you were shooting. Yeah. Up to that point, I was trying to shoot. I was like, I am moving too fucking fast. I can't do anything. And then I was like, oh. I was like, you can hold it down to slow it down. Okay. Made it a lot better. Teddy, some of the best weapon in the game.
Yeah, I will say that the game, I do like it when the game breaks everything that it's trying to do just to fucking be funny, because that's the whole point of it. Like, the game very much wants you to be like, hey, fucking relax. This is supposed to be stupid.
Breaking down the fourth wall, tongue-in-cheek stuff. Oh yeah.
A little bit too much though, because
sometimes it's kind of forced.
Yeah, sometimes it's Deadpool status. That's the one thing, but a lot of times it was smart. That was my biggest complaint, I think, was
you say Deadpool, and seriously, yeah, there was an actual point a la Marvel vs. Capcom where you grab something in the UI and use it to attack. I just realized that. I forgot about that. Classic. Sorry, continue.
Well, no. There's a point switching between jumps and connecting. It has that weird magnetation, right here where you're trying to get by. It reminds me very much of Assassin's Creed.
Locking onto stuff in the environment.
Yeah, and sometimes you're not even trying to get near it. You're just fucking. Disembodied voice is definitely
always good. I guess playing this and you're talking about traversing, not really stopping and kind of keep on going. It kind of reminded me of Tony Hawk, which I think you're supposed to get a skateboard jet grind kind of feel with everything, but I definitely got more Tony Hawk because I felt like when you weren't grinding, you would have to do something while on the ground like that, like your roll attack, or like your roll, kind of almost like when you go into a trick to a manual, you have to keep it going. It is crazy. The game, it is weird that you can't stop. If you do stop and stay stationary, you're killed so much easier. I hardly ever used my melee attacks. Didn't really feel like I could because I wasn't on the ground. I was always kind of up grinding or, bouncing or doing whatever.
Yeah, and see, right there, I
don't
feel like I did.
You hit a flag.
Yeah, but at the same time, the pole was right there, and it doesn't communicate itself very well. I'm like, okay, is this a pole that I can swing off of, or is this a pole? Well, I could assume that it's not, but see, you're exactly right. Right here, I'm fucked because I have no momentum. So with no momentum, I'm I'm just fucking swinging with the gullies, and even then, I'm trying to do what I can to just like start back up from.
Yeah, and you kind of do like on those what do you call them, buoys, the like giant buoys.
Right there,
like
see you, so you do swing off. So
yeah, and it's kind of cool because you actually like would grind on it and go fast and fast to kind of actually build your own momentum. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like Portal, how you kind of use physics and you have to do things to, you know, propel yourself, you know, to kind of get to the next area.
Yeah, but see, the difference with Portal is it's naturally intuitive to where you sort of get a feel for the fundamentals. Here, even when you think you've got a grip on like how to get moving or how to get soaring, the game kind of fucks with you a little bit. And I think it's just because like the architecture is just a little too intricate. And see, this is by far is like one of my favorite weapons right here. Nothing but the hits. I hated
that gun. I hated that gun.
Really, everybody does.
I hate it. And you had like the special one you got if you pre-ordered. And it did like.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, gotcha.
Because you had the high fidelity gun.
Yeah,
but this one, nothing but the hits, is actually a much more worthwhile one, and it's funny. Look at that sweet Argoyle blazer, though. Can we just look at it? Feeling really fucking stoic there.
Yeah. I don't know. How did you feel about overall, like, just like the characters? I mean, it kind of reminded me of Bully, you know, like all these different factions, these different groups, you know, and you're kind of like getting along with one or the other.
See, that's the thing. I felt like the characterization was more or less just a means to an end. They're all just ciphers to like the fucking crazy world of Sunset Overdrive, and like like what makes it so funny is that so many different points and turns, they'll completely disregard like any characterization or any fucking personality just for the sake of being funny, just so that they can just be absolutely fucking stupid in their humor.
Yeah, you're definitely not. You're not getting a lot of depth in this game. Like, you're not gonna have a Gone Home kind of story experience.
No, not in the slightest. But even then, like, the game doesn't really try to. It doesn't like set you up that you're that expectation that you're going to.
Oh no, yeah, they never would.
Yeah, but like, as far as like the fucking characters that do need the exposition or the shit that is just fucked with, it's paced very well. I just, man, like I don't know why I felt like this game is a fun distraction, but it was definitely, there's something about it that still feels missing. I don't know how to explain it. Like I really enjoyed it. It's a fun, stupid game, but it was definitely one that was hyped to give out so much more substance than it actually did. Like, I don't know. I feel like, to me, this is like a dumb downloadable title, but it's not. It's a full, long, intricate, and fucking blown out release.
Yeah, I honestly feel like I would have thought it was more worthwhile playing, and it was. I enjoyed playing the story, but I just feel like the co-op was the thing that I wish I would have played more of it, but I just didn't really get it.
Well, like, I didn't get it. And not only is it not all that intuitive, that's actually my least favorite part about this game.
I've hardly touched it, yeah.
But it's all just tower defense.
It is, in a way. Like, basically, you do all these different challenges to build up.
Either tower defense or waves.
Well, you do the waves first. Like the Chaos Squad mode is, you do these different challenges, like these different waves. And they're different things. Like, one's like collecting all of this money, or it's, you know, killing this many enemies. Like, all these different objectives you have to meet. And basically, those things. The better you do, the more stuff you'll get for the actual night defense mode. Like, you get more amps, you get more, you know, stuff to use. So unfortunately, if you don't have like a full group of people, like 8-9 people or whatever it is, you know, if I just went in with another buddy trying to do it, we could hardly do anything because it wasn't made to be played with 2 players. So it's unfortunate. I feel like if they would just had a strict 2-player co-op, I would have played more of it, but it kind of forces you into playing with a lot of other people to, you know, actually do something.
Yeah, you're pretty much, as stupid as it sounds, you're LFP. Like, fucking just out there with your party flag up, and it's
come on, guys. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I feel like maybe they wanted to do that to create that community, and I just don't think I don't necessarily want to play with a bunch of random people. I just want to play with the people I know, which would be like you and maybe one or two other people I know that had it.
Yeah, this game, I don't know. It's something that is stupid enough to enjoy with randos, but in the same notion, like there's so much personality and investment that you put into like just the way you have your loadouts and even your appearance, all that it is something that I would see better appreciated among fucking friends and family.
Yeah,
So.
agreed. And
Yeah.
I guess like while playing through the game, I never felt like I didn't do a whole lot of extra stuff. You do like, because I usually in games like this, like Infamous or any other open world games, I always get distracted.
I was right there along with you because like when like
story.
Second Son, like I completed that fucking map.
Yep.
I'm just but like hours away from redoing it in Evil just so I can get like a platinum on that game, and that'll be my first. I know that'll be my first PS4 platinum, but like here,
No desire.
at the moment, like it's all fleeting. Like it's all for the one-liners and then just these little moments. They start to kind of bleed and get a bit repetitive. And it's these little moments right here where there's just like fucking these Abbott Costello moments, or just like interacting and hearing the fucking dialogue that come at you, and just the silliness of it. It kind of loses its appeal like once you get like 10 hours in. Like this game doesn't have a lot of shelf life in my opinion.
Yeah, like since I beat the campaign, I haven't gone back and played a whole lot of it. Like I was interested in getting the DLC because I heard it was actually pretty worthwhile to play. Because it actually gives you story-based DLC content, which is kind of just remarkable in its own way that they would do a story-based DLC for this. Because I feel like most games now give you DLC, and it's always like I thought it was gonna be a bunch of challenges. I was like, that's gonna be so just not what I want. But thankfully, they actually give you DLC for story stuff too, which is nice.
Yeah, it's just that like in a game that very much lives in the world of contemporaries like Infamous and Prototype and Crackdown. I felt like there was a lot more endgame, or just more impetus to like do shit. Here, it's like chaotic, but it's weird because that's what it wants it to be. It wants it to be like stupid. Like right now,
that weapon's pretty awesome.
I don't have a lot of direction.
I didn't have that weapon. I like that. That's like the spin-off of the dude, right? But it's got like the zombie heads.
Yes.
Or like the overcharged. Man, that's actually a pretty good weapon.
Yeah, it's a sweet weapon. I think if anything, like for a game that like encourages you to be as frenetic as fuck, it really slows down the pace of everything going on when you're just constantly overwhelmed. I don't even know what the fuck. Like,
yeah, I like what I'm supposed to do next. Return to the train.
Yeah, and then like right here, fuck it, like I did it. A lot of the times I don't feel like the game is very good at directing you at what to do because everything is just thrown. And like where like Infamous or Crackdown or any of those games, you have a lot of freedom to navigate and like basically make the open world your bitch. Here, no, you're so hinged on like the nichey, gimmicky fucking grinding and bouncing and doing stuff, because when you're on like flat ground, you're fucking worthless, just like you said.
Yeah.
I think it's weird. The game suffers from its greatest strengths.
Let me see what I can put together.
So,
I guess this was heading
The
to
tea and
Toys
Teddy.
for Terrorists?
oh boy.
What was probably your favorite weapon if you had to pick one out of the entire game, and without getting too spoiler specific, I guess.
Honestly, it's the one I've been using most of the time. It's the nothing but the hits, because it has a lot of spread damage, and not only that, it's I don't know. It was really fast for crowd control, but it was also the one that was the most stocked with ammo. At some point, my biggest issue with a lot of the like artillery in this game is fucking ammunition is so it's so precious, and it shouldn't be, especially when you're just like trying to do your thing, and like I've got 14 fucking rounds in this. Why the fuck is that?
Gotta go Dirty Harry on him, man. You gotta just take the one shot and be done.
Yeah, but even then, like I'm trying to like go around and collect as much resources as possible, and the game's doing its best to like feed me, like you're seeing everything float near my direction, but ammunition wise, not that much. And and I'm trying to build like my fucking strengths, my combo here, and kind of build some variety and some style to get my other amps going, because that's the big thing, it's the amps, which are cool, but like everything's so constricted in this space. I'm very much like, I don't know, I'm hinged off of like bouncing off of like what I can and grinding off of what I can, and then still doing that, but doing something that just different enough so I can earn some more variety.
Yeah.
And like
I always end up because I played this last year at our at Expo, which is convention, and it was the night defense mode, and the whole object was to try to score higher than everyone else playing alongside you. And all I really did was just I came up with combos. Like I feel like in this game that's what you have to do a lot, is use like combinations of weapons to not only kind of kill them in groups, get them all kind of like gathered in one area, then kill them all at once, and also that gives you style points, and you can still kind of traverse. Like I use the ice gun, like that big ice gun that you can use to like freeze them all in one area, and then use the TN Teddy just to blow them up. You also get a weapon a little bit later on, which is a like a decoy. It's a gun that actually shoot out a decoy, so it'll attract them. So I always did it like in those 3 steps. Like it got kind of
shades of fucking.
It got kind of repetitive
right there. Yeah, I forgot about that.
It got kind of repetitive. It got kind of repetitive, but that was my go-to. Like I would shoot the decoy, gather them in a group, freeze them, blow them up, and I was just like boom. I would just do that because they do that. They gather in such a big group. I feel like you have to kind of take advantage of that. Single them out one by one just is too time consuming. But yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm totally enjoying the dialogue here.
Yeah,
it's like there's not too many games where like you'll just hear "choo choo, motherfucker." Yeah, definitely the vibe I get here when it comes to a lot of the dialogue and the silliness is definitely Big Town Little China.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Yeah, it's I don't know. Sometimes it's engrossing, and just like that dialogue exchange, like, oh man. Sometimes I used to think this town was boring. God, I fucking miss boring.
Yeah. Oh man, I love how they actually have the sunset TV, like how they have it in the world. That's such a weird but kind of cool touch.
It was until I don't know. There was something that felt slightly gross, yet slightly funny still about like the fact that it acknowledged everyone who got their hands on this early for reviewing. Yeah, I didn't know how to feel about it. Like I understood, like the intent wasn't malicious, but still slightly, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I kind of just take it with a, take it all in stride. I mean, I'm sure they weren't trying to like, or tell people, hey, give us a good score, blah blah blah, But I mean, I think they're just trying to be quirky. Like that's their whole thing with that company, Insomniac. They just. They just kind of
do their own fucking
ridiculous.
thing, and then
They do. They're a little
up
ridiculous.
Up to this point, they've been able to make fucking gangbusters for the most part. I would have to say, between Resurrection and
I wish Fuse would have been better, but
yeah, we all do.
What are you gonna do?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Isn't that some fucking biting social commentary for the masses?
Maybe they're gonna do their own version of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Right? Oh man, those are some killer threads right there.
I would like the carpeting more than anything else. Like I want that cosmic fucking whatever that is, man.
Oh, that John's Incredible Pizza, Fuddruckers, fucking Dave and Buster's ass carpeting.
Sure. Oh man, are you ever gonna put a blonde highlight in your hair, George?
I've done that.
Are we ever gonna see this? Okay. Well,
are we ever gonna? Am I ever gonna do it again? Who knows? But I'll answer that question on the next play. Thanks again. You just enjoyed Press Pause Radio. Fucking play, whatever. This is dumb.
Yep. Blazer. Yeah, there's a blazer there.
Blazer open.
Yeah, blazer open. Yeah.
This latest play video from Press Pause Radio was brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/presspauseradio, and you can get access to over 100,000 titles to choose from your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.